to yet another edition of Let's Talk on DNT Work. My name is Bolajoko, and the program, as usual, is Let's Talk, where we talk about issues that pertains to human existence and how we will be able to learn, how to navigate through life even in difficult times. Well, on today's episode of Let's Talk is actually something that has been going around in social media, and I felt it's very important that we talk about it. It has never been a source of concern, but again, things happen and we need to talk about it. So today we will be talking about the me factor. Does proposal tradition predict marital success? So I have Mr. Bolajoko Abayowa. He is the team lead, you and your domain, global, and Mrs. Funmilayo Abayowa. She is a relationship coach. So this beautiful couple will be discussing this topic with us, and I hope you learn from it. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. I really do appreciate.
Thank you so
Okay.
much for having us.
So I sent a video to you. I don't know if you watched it.
Yes, we did.
Can you just give a brief about what you saw? Does that make sense?
Um, did I go first?
Yes.
Okay, so when I watched the video, I was like, all these things is not necessary. The matter should not have even escalated.
Mm.
It doesn't make sense if somebody had just, if the guy now in the video, the guy wanted to propose and he didn't want to kneel down. So the lady was like, why won't you kneel? And instead of to just let peace reign, this is what she wants, right? And kneel down, and that's how it's done being done traditionally. It's escalated into something else. And to me, it doesn't make sense because you see, one thing about marriage is sometimes in marriage you have to go the extra mile. Sometimes you have to deprive yourself of some things just to, you know, meet your partner halfway. Just because this is what my partner wants. It's not him kneeling down does not remove anything from him, does not remove from his this, does not it does not affect him. It's just simple. Okay, this is what my babe wants. Let me just do it just so that then they can now later discuss about it like but it's not necessary. But at that point, I don't feel he didn't respect her. He didn't honor her because it was in public and then he had to just act. So it didn't make sense to me what he did. It didn't make sense to me.
Okay, so I actually wanted the male and the female perspective, right? And
Okay.
Mr. Balajuku, I know that you are a man. How do men think when it comes to this? What do you think was going through the guy's mind?
Okay, so I think it's for the guy, I think it's more about the African uh mentality, man, ego kind of thing. Why do I need to go on my knees because of what? Am I not the head of this space? Right. But at the same time, uh, understanding the fact that this is how the culture recognizes respect for a lady when it comes to proposal. I believe the guy should have just done that. Like there could be some other culture that you don't really have to kneel down and all of that, and it won't really be a big deal for the lady. But in this culture, I mean, this is how respect is understood, right? And I believe the guy should have just knelt down and go along with how the culture recognizes respect, because him not doing that now means the lady is disrespected openly. Right. That is that is a major disrespect openly. Right. And it's not cool at all. I mean, he has gone the extra mile to set the whole thing. I saw some of the comments that people were putting that maybe the guy has any guy that has gone this length to do this, you should know that the guy is serious. Okay, yes. However, kneeling down is like the icing on the cake, right? And not kneeling down eventually spoils the whole cake. So
and also, so I felt if he knew he was not going to follow through, there was
no need to start in the first place.
An open proposal, a proposal, put the ring inside ice cream. So, but if you want to get that kind of reaction, you have to follow through with the process, because it's the kneeling that okay, that's when the lady said, oh, that's how it's always. I've not seen anybody standing up to bring your hand, let me put it. It has killed the aura, the atmosphere of that of the proposal.
Okay, I want to ask from this perspective. This kneeling down, is it before our forefathers were born, or is something that came to be? Because it's not just in Nigeria or Africa as a whole; it's the whole world, even America. Both whites, Hispanic, any culture, kneeling down is the thing now. But I want to go back to before we were born, before we came to be. Was there something called kneel before you propose?
Okay. So I think it is something that evolved based on the Western culture, right? It was something that evolved based on Western culture. And what I will say is, over time, we have come to like imbibe Western culture, right? And if if you presently the culture that we have prevalent is the Western culture, right? If you want to go to Yoruba, Ijile of Yoruba, we might not see all of that, right? But right now, how the culture recognizes respect for a lady during proposal is that kneeling down must come into play. Except the lady is an Ijile Yoruba kind of lady that doesn't really, of which you will rarely find all those kind of people.
It doesn't want that.
You will really find it's just the same like a man now that is also saying that maybe a lady must be pounding yam for him in marriage every now and then. I mean, those are old Yoruba. In the present culture, it does not support that kind of narrative, right? So I think going with the culture, right? Yeah, I believe the guys should have just nailed that, going with the culture. But if you want to talk about previous time Yoruba culture, no, there is nothing like that.
So also, I wanted to add that. I wanted to add that before we were born, there was nothing like proposal. Is arranged marriage.
Yeah.
So, and even then, the ideology surrounding a man or a guy wanting to marry somebody, there is still some right. There are things that the guy will do. Some traditions, the men have to, I think if it's Fulani, they have to endure 100 strokes of cane.
Some will even fight other
to fight. Some have to show. So there is a show of you have to actually prove to an extent that you are capable of marrying somebody and taking care of it. And now that we evolved from arranging marriage and people are allowed to now choose, so one of the ways to show the lady wants to marry that okay, I am ready to marry you and take care of you and respect you, is to do that, go the extra mile. That's the culture we have now adopted. And if you don't want to do all those things, you should, and I believe that before you say you want to marry somebody, you should have known your spouse. You can't marry someone that you do not know, and you know that this is what my babe likes. So there is what we call, when we teach in marriage counseling, there is love language. Everybody has their own love language. You can't speak your own love language to another person. They won't understand. So you speak each person's love language to the person. Obviously, he must have known that his girlfriend loves all these things. So it won't hurt. It won't hurt a thing for him to have done that.
Well, I think God is saving the girl too. But I believe that even in this, while you were speaking, actually, even in Yoruba culture, there is just something about you need to first go meet the family. In fact, you don't even propose to the lady directly. You go to the family, which shows the utmost respect
Exactly.
for that person. And even on the engagement day, they will tell you, did you beg to marry her or not? Meaning you still have to prostrate.
You
You
will
could prostrate
prostrate.
10
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
So even if you're
I
not
think.
doing that before the lady, you're doing that before the family to actually get what
Mm,
you want. So
mm,
whether you kneel to propose to her or you will still do it one way or the other. But I feel that it's
mm,
also very important, and maybe they didn't discuss their likes and dislikes, because as a lady, as a guy, you also have a vision and a goal how you want your proposal to be. Don't forget, we're in the world of social media where you see different kind of proposals and you fantasize on this, you want it to be like this. So in this instance now, what would you say to people that even though we know that kneeling shows is a sign of respect and the fact that you truly appreciate what you want to get, you truly appreciate the lady, what are the things you feel we should also look out for in this time and age that could hamper the joy of this day? Because of that singular thing, a whole maybe 4 or 5 years of relationship went down the drain. Can that relationship even be salvaged with that?
mm. Okay, so I think this kind of discussion should come up before people go into proposals. Like, I believe people that are dating should have that kind of discussion. It's not even just proposal alone. Even on wedding day, some ladies will say things like, I will not kneel down to give any man any cake or something. Right. We're still having this discussion with a few people recently, and the reaction of one was like, why must I kneel down? But to give to give to give cake to my husband on the wedding day. So if kneeling down is an issue, if the two of them have an issue with kneeling down, then nobody should kneel down there. I mean, it's as
Exactly.
if kneeling down is like a criteria that
Make the
will
marriage
bring
work.
about the
Mm.
success of the marriage and all of that. At the same time, if you're not going to kneel down, we also want to know why, because it could also be an ego or a pride issue. It could be a green light or a red light rather. It could
Mm.
be a red light of some certain level of ego or pride that could manifest as something even bigger later in the marriage.
Mm.
Right. So I think that the conversation should come up when people are dating.
I
Right.
think the guy
Conversation should
did
come up.
a video. I was trying to look for it, but I didn't get it. The guy did a
Mm,
video and was trying to justify why he did it. So it seems like the guy is also prideful. So maybe he
Yes, and
felt, I don't want
it's
to do it like
insecure.
every, must I kneel? At least I went all the way to make sure it's romantic, to do this, to bring people, must I kneel? So from that point of view again, some people say, okay, both of them are not even ready for marriage because they are not mature enough too.
Exactly. But now, the man should. There is one thing we when we do marriage counseling, one of the things we tell people is that marriage is work. Marriage is not automatic, right? You need to put in the work. You need to be able to extend grace. You need to be able to go overboard. You need to be able to meet some people halfway.
mm,
When we are thinking about marriage relationship, it's not about one person alone anymore. It's
Mm,
about both of you.
mm,
So, okay, what if I do this thing and it's going to save the relationship?
mm,
It is it what it? Yes. So it's thinking in a team mindset, because now it's not about you anymore. If you want to say you want to marry, one of the things I used to tell people is you have to drop your independence. You have to drop your me, I. It's not, this is what I want, this is how I think it is. No, okay, this, if I stand on what I know or what I think is right, what is the outcome? Would it build or would it tear apart? If it's going to tear apart, then let me be the for in quote, let me just be the fool and let just for peace to reign. So that is the sign of maturity. Immaturity is standing on that. This is standing on your right, and this is it. I don't care what happens, whatever needs to be destroyed. This is what this is. I'm standing on my rights. I'm not going to change, never change forever and ever. That is immaturity, and that kind of person is not ready for marriage. So it's even good that this kind of thing is exposed, because if they've gotten married and this thing comes out, it's going to be more disastrous.